Xiaomi has just introduced their new Civi 4 Pro model. In this model, they are debuting the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. But let me tell you about the rest of the specs so you can get to know it. The model has a very neat aesthetic, especially in the green color model, but it is also available in blue, pink, and black. Its photo module is completely round, oriented to the upper left corner. And there are also other special editions in white, blue, and pink, with a much more intense hue made of synthetic leather. This device surprises by having very thin bezels, although not totally symmetrical, but they are very tiny. The thinnest one measures 1.44 millimeters. The screen is 1.5K, that is 2750 by 1236 pixels. Also with 120 Hz in its refresh rate, obviously AMOLED technology, and a peak brightness of 3000 nits. As you realize, on the screen it looks like a top-of-the-range device, although this Civi series, generally we could say that it is a kind of entry high-end. In addition, this display has support for Dolby Vision, HDR-X+, and other advanced technologies, and comes protected with Gorilla Glass Victus 2. The device is 7.45 millimeters thick and weighs only 179 grams. In the past, the marketing of this device has been very focused on women. In the first generation, they focused a lot on selfies and beauty filters and other things, and that's why it's a super slim device, very slim and very light. With respect to performance, in addition to debuting this processor that I already mentioned, they integrate up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and up to 512 gigabytes of storage, with LPDDR5X and UFS 3.4 technologies respectively. Xiaomi claims that this device is capable of maintaining an average of 59.4 frames per second for 30 minutes of session playing Genshin Impact. The battery is 4700 mAh, supporting 67-watt charging, and is capable of charging from 0 to 100 in 40 minutes. It also has a fairly large vapor chamber to cool this processor. It also has infrared and obviously NFC. In the photographic section, the camera has 3 lenses with the classic configuration: ultra-wide, main, and telephoto. But thanks to cutouts inside the sensors, they are able to give you other virtual lenses, so to speak, 35 and 90 millimeters. The main camera is 50 megapixels with f-aperture 1.63 and optical stabilization, and the telephoto camera is 50 megapixels with f-aperture 1.98. In this case, it's a 50 millimeter camera, so it offers approximately 2x optical zoom. It's not that spectacular, but I insist that by applying a crop on the sensor, it can give you the 90mm focal length. It also comes in collaboration with Leica, giving the vibrant and authentic styles. And for selfies, we find 2 cameras, although the configuration is a bit strange because the first is an ultra-wide and the second is a telephoto zoom. Both cameras are 32 megapixels and are capable of recording video in 4K. The 2x zoom camera has an f2.0 aperture and the ultra-wide has an f2.4 aperture. The base model has 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage, priced at 2,999 yuan. On screen you see the reference price in other currencies just to give you an idea, but remember that prices here are not the same as over there. I think this is one of the most attractive devices from Xiaomi, but for some reason in previous generations this device has remained exclusive to China. So let's wait if it is later launched in other parts of the world, and it will probably be launched under another brand or another name. Although in fact recent reports indicate that this device could be presented soon in India, but with a strategy of selling it only in China and India. But let's wait, because if it arrives in India, there could be the possibility of being launched in other countries.